good. Sit down, you know.
Well, I'm really out here for community service. We're here to have a great experience out here with the NAACP, with going to Alabama.
Well, first of all, it's historic because this is the Pettus Bridge that they had the civil rights movement on. So I'm so excited for her to even remotely know what that means, that they're stepping onto a bridge that Dr. Martin Luther King used to march on.
I had heard about Bloody Sunday and I thought it would just be a fun trip to do, walk to Edmund Pettus Bridge.
My name is Matthew Hutchison. I am a retired professor from Morris Brown and Payne College. My grandson is going today with the group to Selma. I learned of Selma, Alabama when I was an intern at the King Center with Mrs. Coretta Scott King.
Well, we're commemorating the 57th anniversary of the march from Selma to Montgomery, also known as Bloody Sunday, walking in the footsteps of our ancestors, John Lewis and C.T. Vivian and Hosea Williams and Dr. King. And I think it's important, considering where we are with voting rights in America, that we still have to march and protest so that America sees the dramatization of the need to protect the rights of not only African Americans, but of all Americans to have access to the franchise. So that's why we're on the bus, 3 bus loads with young people from high schools all around Fulton County, just showing them what history looks like, but also showing them the future of movement.
One of the things that I want to share with you this morning, that you are in one of the oldest buildings in Dallas County. You're in a building that was erected in 1898. It is in the Historic Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. So it's a lot of history here in this building. So if you want to take pictures, we will be glad to take you on a tour of this building so you can carry them back with you.
When you see pictures of the march, the initial march, you see 2 people, Hosea Williams and John Lewis. John Lewis the voting rights bill is named for him. Hosea Williams was a guy I worked with in Atlanta a few years after Selma. And so one day, I'm an accountant, so I was doing some work for a black grocery store in Montgomery. So I decided to come down to Selma to see this bridge myself, because I was too young to come. And so when I got back to Atlanta, I parked on the town side and walked across the bridge. And I went to Hosea and I said, when you got to the top of that bridge, the crest of that bridge, and you looked down and saw all those state troopers and the horses, and I'm sure he could see the viciousness on their faces. I said, what were you thinking? He said, I didn't think. We had decided what we were going to do, and we did it. We have to decide what we will do, despite what it looks like. Despite the troopers on the horses, despite the pain we know we will endure speaking out, we have to decide what we will do, and we will do it. It is the duty of the oppressed to resist. And silence gives consent, and we must not be silent. Your presence today says you will not be silent. Let's say it together. We will not be silent. We will not be silent. We will not be silent. Thank you so much for your presence.
We are still here. Some of the same issues we faced in 1965, we're here today. People are still trying to take away the voting rights of African Americans. We are here to say no, silence gives consent. We will not be silent.
We don't need anything else to tell us it's time for a movement across America. And if we march here, but don't march in every street across these United States, then we actually dishonor what happened here.
Anybody know the definition of oppression?
Of a question?
Oppression.
Oh, oppression.
Oppression. O-P-P-R-E-S-S-I-O-N.
It's like pressing down on, I don't know, like,
To
Well,
be
oppression.
prevented to do something like against almost like your divine right or something that you're entitled to be able to do.
Close to it. It is a system that pits the majority against an identifiable minority group. That group could be women, it could be Catholics, it could be Jews, it could be people of African descent. There are only two objectives to oppression. Deprivation. Deprivation means take away your resources and prevent you from getting others. The other one is degradation. Takes away your self-worth. Denies you self-esteem. And how do they do that? Sitting on the back of the bus, denying you the right to vote. Going up the side steps of a theater, which y'all don't have to do anymore. I saw it done. But we march so that you don't have to see that. Some of these people out here today risk their lives to do that. It's up, as Greg said to you earlier today, it's up to you to take this torch up. Going up the Edmund Pettus Bridge that's looking out into the Alabama River, thought about Reverend Jose and John Lewis as they were leading this march. They joked to each other, said, can't neither one of us swim, so we got to go down on the other side of this bridge. But it shows again the courage that they faced. They knew they were going to take another beating. And of course, with Hosea, taking a beating was not something that he wasn't accustomed to. As one of the speakers pointed out today, he was coming home from being injured in the war with his uniform on in an Alabama bus station. And he either went to get some water or asked for some coffee, and they beat him till they thought he was dead. So they called the undertaker, a black undertaker, and said, hey, we got a dead N-word over here, come pick him up. So he went and picked him up, saw that he was still breathing, drove 100 miles to the nearest VA hospital and put Hosea in. But he lived for another day and was an outstanding civil rights activist, a Georgia state legislator, a City of Atlanta council member, and he had a history of activism that we ought to celebrate as a part of this commemoration on the Edmund Pettus Bridge today, March 6, 2022.
This is what democracy looks like! Whole street! Our street! Whole street! Our community! Whole community! Our community! Whole community! Our community! Whole community! Our community! Whole street! Our street! Whole street! Our street! Whole street! Our street!
I want to remind people we have elections coming up. We have work to do. Please, please, please join the NAACP. Our website, NAACP-Atlanta.org. NAACP-Atlanta.org. Click on join or donate or volunteer. Branches across the South, across the country need your help. Join the NAACP today.